Okay, Baylor, Oklahoma State. Told ya. Baylor
I know
14,
it. Yep.
Oklahoma State 24. I just trust that Oklahoma State defense, man, and they didn't let me down. OSU, yeah, they found their formula. Run the rock with Jalen Warren and play good defense. And maybe they just shouldn't throw it at all because Spencer Sanders, I mean, he did Spencer Sanders things. I don't know how else to put it with that, but threw the two bad interceptions. The third one wasn't necessarily his fault, but Baylor wasn't able to make him pay for turning the football over. They weren't able to turn any of Oklahoma State's turnovers into points. Baylor punted on its first 8 possessions of the football game. 8.
Crazy.
And other than Abram Smith had the long touchdown run on that, it was like 4th and 2, broke free, classic scenario in football. And other than that run, Oklahoma State completely shut down Baylor's running game. And Baylor coming into this game, once again, they played 3 cupcakes and then beat Iowa State last week. They were leading the conference in rushing. And Oklahoma State shut it down. I thought we saw some of Gary Bohannon's limitations as a passer in this one. Thought we saw what Baylor's offensive line really is in this one. And OSU's defense is just solid, man. Just so solid. And all of a sudden you look up, man, Oklahoma State's 5-0 football team, Ted.
12, ranked number 12 in the country, I believe.
Look at Gundy.
I know it. I know it. Hey, win in advance. Losing the turnover battle, you typically don't win the game, but credit them. It was a tight one, 17-14. I was listening to it in the car on the drive home, and they had a really nice drive late. Whenever they had to have it, were able to run the ball and went down and punched it in the end zone to cap things off. Had to do it on a 4th down. I think that was at a 4th and 1 late that they went for it and scored a touchdown on it. It was nice. So, yeah, credit Oklahoma State. They know where they're good right now. That's defense, and they play to that. I think you're right, man. They need to limit Spencer Sanders because he's going to throw him into some bad situations. But boy, Jalen Warren has come, I guess, not necessarily out of nowhere, but man, he's really good. Tough to bring down, and yeah, Oklahoma State's going to be tough. Honestly, the rest of the way out, the schedule is going to be tough. I feel like we're going to be in a dogfight every single week. Heck, Tech looked way better.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Went to Morgantown and won?
Don't know.
Didn't see that coming.
Won easily.
Did not. Hey, congrats to our boy Matt Wells, but did not see that coming. 5-0. Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State Cowboys. Look at you guys. Okay, on to Arkansas, Georgia.
Woo.
Did not go well for the Hogs. They got shut out. 37-0 in Athens. And Ted, it was the return of our boy Stetson.
Yes.
Stetson Bennett the 4th. He didn't have to do much because Georgia, what's the best word to use? Georgia's offensive line assaulted Arkansas, and Georgia's defensive line assaulted Arkansas. It was an assault at the line of scrimmage. They ran it right at Arkansas, and all 4 of those backs from Georgia had success when they got the football. Arkansas, you go on the road, you can't get a punt blocked for a touchdown. I mean, what'd that make it? 21-0. And
which, by the way, let me just say that's the most casual punter I've ever seen for being basically in his own end zone on the road against the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah,
you would think he'd be short-stepping that sucker and getting it out of there. He's just chilling back there.
Yeah, let's maybe speed up the old op time on that one, bud. It did take him. Now, that was walk on, came flying through, blocked it.
Nice
Classic.
Play. That was cool.
But the game was over in the first quarter. I mean, it was over. It was probably over when it was 14-0.
It was apparent very quickly that one team was massively better than the other.
Yes.
And Arkansas's, I think, Arkansas was ranked really high. Maybe they weren't as good as that ranking, but Arkansas is a good, solid football team. I believe that.
We watched them beat A&M. That was not a fluke. We watched them whoop Texas's ass. I just think George is the real deal. Yeah. Shane Beamer told us. I mean, he told us. But damn, they got 5-star. They got 105 stars. I mean, he told us. But KJ Jefferson, he didn't look close to 100% to me. I don't think it really even mattered. Just a dominant performance by Georgia. Back-to-back shutouts by Georgia's defense.
They were averaging 5.8 points a game given up, and somehow they've taken that number lower.
They are, without doubt, the best defense in the country. And that is, I will say this. They have to be better offensively because they're not going to be able to run the ball against Bama that way. Even though I know what Florida did to Bama. I understand that when it comes to running the ball, but I don't think they're going to be able to push Bama around the way that they pushed Arkansas around. Georgia has to get some better quarterback play or else they're not going to be able to win it all. But damn, that defense is good, man. I mean, they got draft picks all over the place.
Brutal. It's tough. It honestly, I feel like number 1 and number 2 are way ahead of the rest of college football.
How it feels. It's I was laying in bed Saturday night, got home, watched a bunch of the Georgia game, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure the Sooners can block these guys. And then I was like, you know what? But that's why they play the games, baby. Don't get that mentality in your head. I was like, I can't have that mentality. I can't have the, oh, we don't want to go to the playoff because we might get embarrassed. Oh, shut up. Go play the damn game. Stupid ass mentality.
You start slapping yourself last night.
I saw some OU fans talking about that on Twitter after, like, oh, we don't want to go get embarrassed. It's like, dude, shut up. Go play the game. Go play the damn game. You can't be the king of college football if you don't go knock the king off the throne.
That's right.
Loser ass, soft ass mentality some people walk around with every day of their lives.
Just get better, right? That's it.
Gosh. Okay, Cincinnati. Yeah, hey, I know this one made you happy. As sad as Arkansas getting rolled made you, Cincinnati going to Notre Dame, knocking the Irish off 24-13. And it feels like the story of this game, turnovers. Right? Jack Cohn's interception on the opening drive, right? Notre Dame's got a good drive going. He throws a bad interception that takes points off the board for the Irish. Tyler Buckner comes in, throws an interception that leads to a Cincinnati touchdown. Chris Tyree fumbles the kickoff after that and basically hands Cincinnati a field goal. And once again, man, Notre Dame's offensive line struggled. It's so weird to see them struggle the way that they're struggling up front offensively. They just could not
run. With Oklahoma. I mean, we've been so dominant there for such a long time too. It's hard to see us struggle as well.
Yeah. And I will say this. Notre Dame's offensive line is struggling a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. Now they also Cincinnati's better than Kansas State, but let's not dive into all that right now. But I did think Desmond Ridder, he played a solid game.
Good. Yeah.
Right. Alec Pierce, big white boy, just some big plays. And I will say Brian Kelly tried everything, right? Brought Drew Pine in the game, right? Brought the righty out of the bullpen, Ted. And he gave them some life, a little bit of a spark, made it interesting in the fourth, but it's pretty evident. Cincinnati was just a better football team. That's kind of what we thought going into this one. And Did it seem like there was a ton of Cincinnati fans at that game? There was a whole lot of red in that stadium.
There was. Just the whole situation was weird. I just can't imagine there's ever been another time where Notre Dame was a top 10 football team and was an underdog at home to a non-Power 5 school. That's crazy. And then not only did Cincy beat them, they covered easily and were threatening to run away with the thing pretty early on. That's a big time win by Cincy. Just don't choke down the stretch. Just don't choke.
The biggest win in school history? Gotta be, right? It's gotta be.
Top 10 on the road, Notre Dame. Yeah, that checks all the boxes.
Luke Fickell. But one of my favorite things about, and who knows if he would want to be USC's next head coach, but my favorite thing is hearing, people that are associated with USC or cover the Pac-12. It's like, Luke Fickell's really not, he's really not a USC guy, Oh, winning football games isn't cool. Team being tough as hell, defensively being physical as hell at the line of scrimmage. That's not cool.
Nope.
Not cool. He's not a USC guy. What the hell are you talking about? The dude is obviously a hell of a football coach.
And that's why some places will never be able to bounce back. Or I guess better said is don't deserve to bounce back whenever you look down at fantastic football coaches.
I just don't know if could he be Hollywood enough for USC? Shut up.
What do you
awesome
think,
coach?
Like, now that Cincinnati's coming to the Big 12, like how much does that affect him staying at Cincinnati, if another decent offer comes up?
Well, he's going to get a raise, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to use whatever job offer he gets, and he's going to get some big ones, you assume. He's going to use that as leverage to get a raise, and they're going to be bringing in a bigger television distribution once they join the Big 12. They'll have more money to pay him. If I'm Cincinnati, I do what Iowa State has done with Matt Campbell. I give him whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
Whatever Luke Fickell wants.
Yep.
Take it.
I just wonder.
He's an Ohio guy.
Yeah.
He's lived his whole life there.
I don't know, but I think Cincinnati is. I think they're going to get a boost going to the Big 12, and I think that's going to be a pretty good job. And when OU and Texas are gone, Cincinnati can definitely compete in the Big 12. Definitely.
I would expect them to come in and compete right away.
Yep.
Depending
on what it looks
roster,
like, they may be the favorite.
Dude,
right.
They got the Myjai Sanders guy, defensive lineman. That guy's he's a dude. He's got they got players. I think both corners are supposed to go in the first round or something like that. The Gardner kid I know is a stud. So they got players.
Yep.
And you're right. They're going to recruit better once they go to the Big 12. So yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to be just fine. A team that was not just fine. Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss Rebels. Get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. This game's about to be over quick. He tossed
Gabe,
the headset to the camera and everything.
You can go into a game confident, and I've got no problem with that. You need to go into a game confident, but you do not throw out a meme-worthy line in the pregame interview. You just you keep everything close. You just say, keep it to coach speak. That's all you do. You do that line. He will now be known for that line. That's it. He'll be known for that.
Get your popcorn ready.
Did you see all the people doing it's so funny. Internet always wins on stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to beat Bama, you've got to be able to convert 4th and 1 and 4th and 2s And I didn't mind the calls at all. And I know that Kiffin said, "Hey, we're going by the analytics book. Hey, if you can't get a yard or two, you don't deserve to beat the best program in the entire country." And them not being able to convert in those situations gave Alabama short fields on a couple of those. Um, gave them a short field when Matt Corral got, sack, strip fumble, and it was 28-0 at halftime. And Bryce Young was really solid, but this game was all about Ole Miss not being able to stop Bama's running game. I mean, Brian Robinson with a career day for the Tide scored 4 touchdowns. Just a dominant performance from Nick Saban's team. They straight up bullied Ole Miss at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Corral was under pressure, running for his life the whole night. Alabama got key stops on defense, ran the hell out of the football. Sound familiar?
Brutal. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if Georgia's defense and Ole Miss's offense. Georgia's got the best defense in the country, and Ole Miss had the number 1 offense in the country. I don't know if those 2 units put together could beat Alabama right now.
They are. It was a good reminder that, because there's a lot of people around the country that are talking about, hey, this could be one of those weird years in college football. Maybe we get some new faces in the college football playoff. And I feel like this was Bama just saying, hey, guys, you're all
Yeah, there may be new people at the party, but the same person's going to win it. Yeah,
it's
maybe
just
a couple of new faces out there, but yeah, Alabama has not slowed down at all. It's crazy, wild.
I'm not sure they're going to lose a game. We'll see. Maybe. Hey, it is a weird year. It is a weird year. Who knows?
It may not be that weird. I think a lot of other people are going to lose, but I don't know if they are.
Yeah, you're right. I have my doubts
because their schedule's going to be a lot easier from this point on, right?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in winners and losers.